Hi everybody, welcome back or welcome to the channel. It's your boy Reactee, and today we're doing another Fright Night Friday. This one's from Sir Spooks. This is 10 scary videos you shouldn't watch alone this Halloween. So, a bit late to the party, 2 months ago is what it says. So, ouch. But let's jump into it and see what Sir Spooks has for us.
Hello everyone, my name is Sir Spooks and today we'll take a look at 10 scary videos. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more scary content. Alright, with that said,
I can already see one video that we've covered before, multiple times actually. But I'm glad Sir Spooks is finally covering it.
let's begin. And of course, Happy Halloween. The first clip we're checking out today comes from Caitlin, known on TikTok as Kit Kat Patty Whack. She explains that her dad installed a security camera out back because the motion sensor light kept going off, yet he never saw anyone there. But on the night of October 27th, 2020,
We've seen this one too. I didn't see this one in the little preview, so I didn't know this one was coming. But we have seen this one before. This one is weird.
that finally changed.
It's right here. Some sort of misty shadow figure just walking across the yard casually. And so that's what's been setting off the motion detecting lights. So that's it's pretty amazing that that set off everything.
At first glance, the footage seems uneventful, but if you look closely near the center of the frame, you'll notice a faint, misty figure drifting across the yard. It moves slowly, almost aimlessly, before eventually wandering out of view. The strange thing is how human the figure's movements appear, even though it's completely translucent. It doesn't behave like a reflection, and it doesn't resemble fog or light distortion either. Caitlin says both she and her dad were completely baffled after watching the footage, unsure what to make of it. Of course, skeptics have offered a few ideas: an insect close to the lens, a stray beam of light, or even a small cloud of breath or vapor caught by the infrared sensor. Still, the way the figure glides across the yard,
All those are actually very valid. Could have been any of those. Yeah, it could have been someone off screen over to the side there, breathing, and their breath catches in the wind and just drifts across. Yeah, could have been any of those. I kind of tend to not agree with the insect one, just because it would look completely different if that was a bug on the lens. You wouldn't be able to see through portions of it. I mean, the edges you might be able to see through, but that was completely transparent to me in my view. But yeah, just something to think about. It could have been a lot of things.
gives the whole scene an eerie, ghostly vibe. So what do you think? Did Caitlin's dad accidentally capture a wandering spirit on his backyard camera? Or is this just another case of technology playing tricks on us? TikTok user FV Frequent Flyer posted a series of 3 eerie videos back in October 2024, documenting his late-night visit to an allegedly haunted vacant house. In the first video, he films the house from outside, and right away, something strange stands out.
So this house, the first time we passed it, she said the bottom part was not blinking. It was on, but it wasn't blinking. See how the different lights are at different intervals? The kitchen light being on,
multiple lights inside the home flicker erratically.
Flickering lights may be an electrical issue. It may not be anything spiritual or supernatural. It's odd that this one's flickering faster than these ones down here. And I don't know why, if this house is abandoned, why the kitchen light's on at all. Could be squatters. But why would they flicker the lights like that? Because they know it would draw attention, so I don't understand why they would do that. So yeah, that is strange.
Even though the place is clearly abandoned. The uploader wisely decides not to get any closer that night, but the story doesn't end there. A full year later, curiosity gets the best of him. He returns to the same house, and unbelievably, the lights are still flashing in exactly the same way.
Who would pay for electricity? Whoa, something just changed. Did you just see that? Something most definitely just changed.
What changed?
One of the lights paused for a second.
Now, if you notice, a year later, the bulb up here isn't quite as bright. It's not filling up both windows quite as well. The kitchen light's still on and bright. And the wallpaper or whatever this is looks all peeled the same way. So either no one's been in the house over that year, or it is completely abandoned and nothing's ever happened to it. It's strange, but this one seems to still be going faster than these ones go occasionally, and that's still on. And like he said, after a year, you think the power bill would have the power would have been shut off, since no one's been paying the power bill if it's abandoned. So how are the lights even still on after a year?
There's no cars. It's 10 o'clock at night. This is 1 year later. Now, we did meet the girl that grew up here. This was her childhood home. She absolutely 100% said it was haunted.
It's the same pattern, the same pulsing glow, like something or someone is still there. Then, in a third video filmed during the day, the phenomenon happens again.
So it looks like the one light downstairs is blinking, but the upstairs light isn't. This is a house during the daytime. Timer maybe? I don't know. But as you can see, it's definitely paranormal.
So yeah, now he's there during the day, a year later, and the one downstairs light's still blinking. You can't really see any others. And again, he said he talked to a girl who grew up there, and she thought the house was haunted at the time after she left. So it's a little strange that the power is still on after a year. I mean, obviously, someone's paying for upkeep. Otherwise, why would there still be power? That's strange. Like my folks have money on our home heating bill at our place. So occasionally the truck just shows up automatically, and then a couple months later they'll put more money on the account, and stuff like that. But I've never heard of a house the power bill being paid a full year in advance and just leaving the power on even after it's been abandoned. So that is odd.
Okay, let's get the hell out of here.
The lights continue to blink, despite no sign of anyone inside. According to the uploader, there's more than one electrical circuit in the home, meaning it's not just a single malfunction causing the flickering. It's easy to imagine how unnerving that would be. An empty house, sealed off from the world, but somehow still alive with light. While some viewers theorize the faulty power connection or motion-triggered sensors, others think the lights might be responding to something unseen. I'll admit, it would have been fascinating if the uploader had tried to peer inside, but for his safety, staying in the car was probably the right move.
I agree with Sir Spooks on that. It's weird. And if it has multiple outlets for the wiring, or fuse boxes for the wiring, and they're each differently doing stuff, that doesn't sound like an electrical issue. It should be, because it should be all on one circuit, basically. But yeah, that is super odd. And yeah, I agree with Sir Spooks. For safety's sake, stay away from places like this.
So what do you think? Could there be a logical electrical explanation, or is this the work of something that never left the property? A Reddit user named AJ Buttons recently shared a video to Paranormal that's had viewers debating non-stop. AJ explains in the post that his home security camera caught something deeply unsettling. Something walking from one room to another down the hall late at night. He adds, quote, "There's a security camera in the room it came from, but it didn't record anything. I checked the exact time from one camera to the other." End quote. Sure enough, a faint figure seems to drift across the hallway, its shape visible just long enough to make your heart skip a beat. Whatever it was, it didn't trigger the camera in the other room, which makes the whole thing even stranger. One commenter insisted it must have been a person, but AJ quickly clarified that wasn't possible. The other camera, covering the doorway the figure emerged from, showed absolutely nothing. It's a classic setup for a haunted house mystery.
So the room that it comes from has a camera in it as well, and there's nothing on that at the same time. And then this figure goes from this room over to across the hall to another room. I wish he'd let it play a little bit longer, because it cuts off and then loops back. And that's a little strange, but it would have been nice if it played a little longer.
Figure caught on camera that appears to exist only in one frame, one moment, one sliver of time. Whether it was a camera glitch, a shadow, or something truly paranormal, it's enough to make anyone lose a night's sleep.
Now, Sir Spook said it was only in there for a moment of frame, so that makes me think it might have been a technical issue, and rather than something haunting. But yeah, that it's strange, but being in only one frame makes me think it's something wrong with the camera and not showing up in the other camera at all. So like a glitch or some dead pixels or something. That's what it makes me feel like anyway. Or maybe double exposure. I guess it's digital, so probably not. But some sort of camera anomaly. If it only lasted for a frame, it's strange.
If I saw something like this on my own home security footage, I don't think I'd rest easy until I got answers. Hopefully AJ finds out what or who was wandering his hallway that night. This story comes from Reddit user Signal Pollution 4881, who shared footage and memories from a small town movie theater where he and his brother worked the night shift back in 2018. From their very first shift, something about the place felt wrong. One night while cleaning, he heard the sound of a baby crying, even though the building was locked and empty. Over time, other strange things followed. Footsteps echoing the projection booth, doors creaking open on their own. and the uneasy sense of being watched. Months later, while upstairs in the projection area, he saw a pitch-black figure standing about 20 feet away. It had no face, no features, just a solid human shape. Terrified, he ran and never spoke of it until his brother later witnessed a thick black mist form in the bathroom before vanishing. Only then did the brothers realize they'd both seen something unexplainable. Eventually, they stopped working nights altogether, but even years after leaving, the hauntings didn't stop. A former co-worker later sent them this clip, recorded around Halloween, showing a dark figure in the projection area, the exact same spot where the uploader had seen the shadow before. To anyone else, it might look like a trick of the light, or maybe a bat, but to the uploader, it was unmistakable. Whatever haunted that theater was still there. I don't know about you, but after hearing...
Yeah, it's strange. It's up camera height, so the figure is either tall or flying, and it moved with enough speed to move this hanging plant or light or whatever this is. It's strange. It's a good thing that employee went into that room back there, because they might have been scared.
This story, I might stick to streaming movies at home.
See, look at it. It's just started to shake after the figure went by. That's insane.
For a while.
Of course, if it shook the planter or whatever that is hanging there, and it was close enough to the camera to blur out the whole thing, it would have to be fairly wide or massive enough that it may cause its own breeze, its own backdraft.
A Reddit user recently posted a video to high strangeness that'll leave you both confused and amazed. In the footage, the uploader films the night sky when something unusual comes into view.
Now the one on the side went out. Not completely.
A large, black, triangular-shaped object can be seen slowly descending over a distant ridgeline. The uploader continues filming in disbelief, clearly unsure what he's looking at.
When you first see it, these outer blinking lights look like they form another vehicle, but then they start dropping at different rates. Like, even once this all gets behind the ridgeline, this one is up a little bit higher, and then it drops whatever this is. Now, I forget what those planes with the movable rotors that the military uses are called, Pelicans or something. It could be one of those with flares around it for nighttime exercise or something. And then this could be somebody parachuting down or equipment being dropped. But this is a strange light setup. That is weird.
If this really is a UFO, it's a striking one. Its shape is far more distinct than the usual glowing orbs or circular craft we're used to seeing. Triangular sightings like this have long fascinated UFO researchers, often compared to reports of the mysterious black triangle craft spotted across North America and Europe since the 1980s. Of course, skeptics suggest it could be anything from a drone or aircraft viewed from an odd angle to a lighting illusion against the night sky. Still, the eerie steadiness of its descent and that unmistakable shape make this one hard to ignore. So what do you think? Did this Reddit user capture genuine evidence of something otherworldly, or just a perfectly timed optical illusion?
I can't see that being an optical illusion. Like I said, it's probably some sort of military exercise. Be interesting to find out what's on the other side of that ridge. If it was training grounds or somewhere. And like Sir Spooks said, it could be a drone, because they do come in that configuration, some of them. So, but it would be a pretty massive drone. And why would it be dropping other lights? That's the strangest part. But yeah, that is a strange one. I love UFO stuff. It's so cool.
This next video comes from TikTok user Kuma Wicks, who says the creepy incident took place just 3 days after moving into Columbus. The location? A community building that used to be an old church. For the first couple of minutes, Kuma and their friends wander through the area before spotting something odd and completely out of place.
Bear, explain this, man.
It was in the rafters, on the other side of the building.
You guys see the force on it?
Yeah, troll.
Whoa.
It's 3 o'clock.
Bro, watch that.
Nah.
Watch. Watch the force, guys.
A balloon can be seen drifting slowly through the hallway, moving in a way that seems almost deliberate. They follow it as it glides into the basement, passing under a staircase. Down there, an electric box with a fan is running, though Kuma notes there's barely any air coming from it. Still, it could explain the unusual movement.
Okay, we might have got it correct. Is it cold? Why is it going so fast then? There's no air in that. Oh.
It's funny that they're scared of a balloon moving around. Obviously, it has a damp basement, so they need to move air around. So yeah, the fans and dehumidifiers and stuff would be running. My own dehumidifier pumps out a lot of air when it's done. So it could be random airflows. It could be any number of things making this balloon move. Not necessarily paranormal, but be cool if it was.
There's no air for cookies. We're kind of like split here, dude. Bear.
I'm looking. I'm watching.
Things get stranger when they discover another balloon floating through the main part of the building. It hovers for a bit before heading downstairs again, eventually making its way into a fitness room.
Are you gonna come join us, or are you gonna go downstairs? Goodbye. Say goodbye, knock on wood.
This time is going to the gym. Like you said. You said the gym doors are open. Why don't those lights? See, there's that big shadow that was there earlier.
Now, Sir Spooks said this is another balloon. This looks like the same one. And they said earlier that it was up in the rafters on the other side of the building. And this one started out up in the rafters. I don't know if this is another side of the building, but it's a little odd that this balloon seems to be all over the place. I don't think it's another one. It looks the exact same, has the same length of ribbon, has the same words on it. It's strange.
The entire sequence feels oddly haunting, especially considering the building's past as a church. Even if airflow is the most logical explanation, the way the balloons seem to move with purpose gives the footage an eerie, almost supernatural vibe. Filmed back.
Now that look, the area where it was underneath the stairs, if that fan was blowing any amount of air out, it would cause a little vortex into there. So that's probably why it came out of that spot quicker and headed up the stairs a little bit. But yeah, most of this is going to be natural airflow in the building.
In March, no updates were ever posted, leaving viewers to wonder what exactly was going on in that old church basement. For those who are unaware, between October 4th and 10th of this year, a Category 2 storm known as Hurricane Priscilla tore through southwest Mexico. Sadly, it brought heavy damage to several regions, but according to one witness, it may have also brought something otherworldly with it. This clip comes from Reddit user Cass Green, who shared the footage on UAPs. They filmed it late at night in Cabo San Lucas, Baja California Sur, as the hurricane raged outside. In the distance, amid sheets of rain and flashes of lightning, several strange lights can be seen moving across the sky.
Not only that is, I don't think I'll be able to stop it in time, but there was a flash there where you could clearly see something that wasn't being illuminated by the lightning. Start here. No, I missed it. It was earlier than that. But yeah, you could see objects in the sky that weren't being illuminated by the lightning, and there were numerous of them.
Dozens of glowing orbs flicker and drift through the storm clouds, appearing and disappearing in rhythmic patterns. Some shoot upward, others hover in place, and a few seem to move in formation. Cass believes they were witnessing genuine...
See that? That is what I was talking about. These are not being illuminated by the lightning behind them. They're casting shadows, which is really strange, but then there's also other little orbs. Now, it is raining fairly heavy. The wind with the hurricane is usually pretty high. It could just be debris. And the little balls of light, probably ball lightning stirred up by static in the air caused by the wind. Who knows? It's more, if it's due to the hurricane, it's more likely that it's going to be a natural explanation rather than a supernatural one. But yeah, it's strange for sure.
UAPs. And interestingly, she claims to have seen something almost identical back in 2017 during a hurricane in Puerto Los Cabos, describing them as fireflies in the sky. The way these lights move is especially strange. They don't behave like aircraft, drones, or reflections. Despite the intense winds, their motion looks smooth and controlled, as if they're gliding through the storm on purpose. While some might speculate electrical discharges, debris reflections, or transformer explosions, the sheer number of coordinated lights makes this footage particularly hard to dismiss. If the video is authentic, it could be one of the most compelling mass UAP sightings ever caught during a hurricane. Multiple unidentified objects calmly navigating a sky when nothing else could. TikTok user Fright PLBWX1 shared a pair of chilling videos that she says were filmed just one night after her 7-year-old daughter suffered another severe night terror. According to her, her daughter has been plagued by them for a long time, but this episode was different. In the first video, we see the mother slowly approaching her daughter, asking what's wrong after finding her staring out the window.
We have seen this one before. This is another unusual one. There's doors and other things. I don't know if they're going to show it in this one. This one looks like basically the end.
Window in silence. She tells her to explain what she's seeing because she's starting to scare her, and that's when something truly bizarre happens.
What's wrong, Cora? Sweetie, what are you afraid of? You're scaring Mommy. Come see.
All 4 window blinds close by themselves at the...
Not only do they close by themselves, they also close upwards and not downwards, which would be the easier way for them to close. So that's strange. That is really, really strange. Yeah, it didn't show it in this, but in the original video we saw the daughter had come into her room and she was taking her back to her bed, and her own door started to close on her, open and close, and she tried to explain it as the fan behind the door, or the air vent behind the door. But the next day when she checked, there wasn't enough air coming out of the vent to push the door closed. So it's a little strange that Sir Spooks cut the first part of it out, but this is incredible. Like I said, it would be easier for the blinds to go downwards, to close downwards, than that would be to close upwards.
Exact same time. The mother gasps, clearly startled, and the camera wobbles as she steps back. In a follow-up video, she tries to show her viewers how the blinds normally close, hoping to make sense of what happened. But things only get stranger.
So I'm coming into the room to show you the blinds, which I have opened back up to demonstrate. How they are closed. It's not electronic, it's not battery powered, it's... That's not creepy.
That whisper that Sir Spooks put in there a couple times doesn't sound like... It sounds like her breathing outward, exhaling. It doesn't sound like something supernatural. The door opening further on its own is a little strange, but I guess you could explain it with airflow of the house. It's hard to tell. But this is not the door I was talking about. The door I was talking about, this is still her daughter's room. The door I was talking about was her room, and it had one of those big panel vents behind the door. And the door is a big old heavy one, kind of like this one. And she can barely get it to move the way it did the previous night. So that was strange.
I'm trying my best not to freak out. So, to close these blinds, you have to touch it and close it like that. That is the only way to close these blinds. There are no batteries or remotes here at all. No wires. You have to touch it and you have to close it like this. And there's no way I could have done that since I was standing on the opposite side of the room. and there was no way I could have closed all 4 at the same time.
Before she can even demonstrate, the door suddenly moves on its own, and faint whispers can be heard in the background. The sound is so subtle you almost miss it, but it's unmistakably there. It's hard not to feel for this mother. She is clearly trying to stay calm for her daughter's sake, but now both of them are terrified. Whether this is an electrical malfunction, a draft, or something more unexplainable, it's easy to see why they'd want answers. Here's hoping whatever's happening in that room settles soon, so they can both feel safe again. This next clip from TikTok user House of Anderson starts out completely normal. We see a man recording a quick Snapchat video for his wife, just relaxing at home, talking casually and enjoying his night. But around 20 seconds in, something happens that instantly turns this wholesome moment into a scene straight out of a horror film.
But yeah, there's that. Anyway, I just had to check to see mom real quick. I'll be home in a sec, but I love you crazy.
Right there, you can see it. A dark face with a glowing eye staring down from the ceiling above him, followed by a strange noise.
So there's a face there. It almost looks like they're hanging upside down. And then noise in the hall. And as soon as the noise in the hall happens, the face vanishes and this guy gets startled. That's not creepy at all. It almost looks like, with the way the walls are, and the speaker up here, and the permanent marker on the door, it almost looks like this is a barracks, a military barracks. He's in a uniform. So a barracks being haunted would be a new one. I haven't heard of any. I'm sure they're out there. Lots of unfortunate tragedies happen on military bases, so it's not hard to think that one of these places would be haunted, especially with maybe a Native American spirit. A lot of the military bases used to be native land. Actually, the whole U.S. used to be native land, so there's so much that could go on these places. But yeah, it looks like a barracks. I mean, even this light up here, this red glow, looks like there's an exit sign somewhere. So it looks like he's in a barracks doing a video for his wife. And yeah, that's a little creepy.
Going through the hallway, the man immediately notices, stands up in confusion, and nervously peers out into the hall to check. But there's nothing there. He then walks back toward his phone to stop recording, clearly shaken by what he's just seen. The brief glimpse of the face is hard to forget. It doesn't look like a shadow or a trick of the light, and the faint glow of the eyes makes it even more unsettling. Whatever it was, it definitely shouldn't have been there. Personally, if I saw something like that in my house, I'd be finding somewhere else to sleep real fast. Over on the Ghost subreddit, a user named Danso950 shared a video that was filmed back in 2019.
This is the one I knew we saw. At least twice. This is the Room of Death at a nursing home. So get ready for this one again. It's actually really good.
Under some very eerie circumstances, a resident had asked them to record her while she cleaned her room that she referred to as the death room. She wanted to post it to her Facebook group, so the uploader agreed to film, but what they ended up capturing on camera was anything but ordinary.
Father, I ask for your divine presence to fill this space. May your light shine brightly through every room, cleansing the...
And just a small correction from Sir Spooks, his comments there. This is not her room. She's a resident at this nursing home, but this is not her room. This is the room where when someone moves in there, this is the acute care ward. So basically the last place anyone's ever going to stay. But this room in particular, apparently everyone who moves into it passes away very quickly. And it's been left empty for a while at this point. So this lady is going to cleanse it, and she wants it recorded for her church group on Facebook.
This home of any negativity, fear, or unrest. Let peace dwell in every corner, and love be the foundation of every wall. Bless this home with your protection, surrounding it with your angels, and shielding it from harm and evil. May every door be a passage to your grace, and every window open to your...
And that right there is what makes it creepy. Her hand's moving, but not in a jolting way that would have forced the crucifix to rise up almost to the same level as her hand and into the room. That would only be achieved from something inside the room, either somebody pulling on a string attached to the crucifix or something else. But that's creepy. I don't like that.
Blessings. In Jesus' name.
In the video, the woman can be seen praying and blessing the room, cross in hand. Everything seems fine until the very end, when the cross suddenly lifts upward on its own, as if an unseen force is tugging at it. The motion is subtle but unmistakable, and it happens right as she finishes her prayer. Some believe it was a sign of resistance, something in the room reacting to her presence. Others think it might have been an unseen spirit trying to take the cross from her hand. The uploader says that whenever someone tells them they don't believe in ghosts or the supernatural, this is the video they show them. And honestly, after watching it, it's not hard to see why. And that was 11 scary videos. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then subscribe for more scary content. Have an awesome Halloween, and remember, if you hear footsteps behind you tonight, it's probably just your imagination. My name is Sir Spooks, and I'll see you all in the next video. Happy Halloween.
Well, that was another great video from Sir Spooks there. Again, this was a couple of months old. Clearly is from the Happy Halloween. But yeah, that was amazing. We only saw 2 of the same video before, maybe it was 3, but it was only 10 videos, not 11. But yeah, that was a pretty incredible one for Fright Night Friday. If you enjoyed this, drop a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. It's free, helps out the channel. And I'll catch you next week for another Fright Night Friday. Again, the link to the original video will be down in the description in case you don't want to listen to my lovely commentary. But again, I'll see you later.